Welcome to M3's 3D, where D20s are cursed. So I have been trying to build up D20s for Christmas, and for some reason, everything else I tried to prints fine, but D20s do not. And let me show you how many D20s have messed up. Okay, this one messed up. We have messed up D20s down here, messed up D20s here, several failed D20s over here. That's 5. Oh yeah, and let's not forget this one. Now you've seen, we've printed lots of other things successfully. In fact, these printers have messed up almost nothing else. Our croissant is done. We even resurrected this printer, which was obviously gone for. But for some reason, across many different printers, I cannot get a D20 to print. And I'm trying to have 17 of these things for Christmas. It's almost as if there's some kind of disease, and like it's only transmissible across this species. And here's the crazy thing, it has nothing to do with the G-code file. I know that's the first thing everyone's gonna think. This is the exact G-code file that I have printed hundreds of times. On top of that, if it was the G-code file, it would mess up at the same point every time. Like it would run out of G-code, or there'd be some kind of uniformity across the mess ups. But as you can see, there will be some that mess up at this point. There'll be some that mess up pretty much at the end. At the beginning, there's no similarity. So what we're gonna do, we are going to set every single large printer I have to printing D20s. And the thing that's really strange is, this is like one of my biggest products. I have sold so many of these, and while there's been problems in the past, like they've been pretty much fine. Not terribly different than any other product. I mean, over here, we even got the Micro Swiss, and I haven't yet figured out why this messed up. I don't think it's a filament issue, but this is just crazy. Why can't I print an effing D20? So that's a thing. All right. With that prelude of joyous euphemism, morning roundup. The correct bulldog. Einstein, part of the Guitar Octo. Of course, the big alien. And this is not quite as set to rights as I thought it was. It messed up, and then it messed up again, and like, I don't think it's a filament thing, although I will measure this. But that, like, why? Why is it like this? Of course, we've got the Charcot. We printed this chess piece. Now, I actually never made this a product, so we are going to make it a product. And of course, you guys saw the croissant. We'll probably paint it today. And our strawberry is coming along. Wow, I almost reached for this Windex to drink it. That's what this D20 situation is doing to me. Oh yeah, I forgot. I put one of them out here. All right, I think it's time for a really good salad. It's exactly what this calls for. And we're gonna walk like our forefathers did. You know what, F it. We never ate out on the 15th. We're going to Chili's. Still not used to these things. Don't feel like it should. Hurts so good. There's probably no more Chili's song than Hurts So Good. Every once in a while I get reminded of what it's like to be a server. I do find myself being pretty grateful that I am not one anymore. I do think everybody should be a server or work for tips at some point in their life. If this is you, I'm not singling anybody out, but there is a certain something when a person has never worked like a hard-working job. Like if you've only ever worked like office jobs, not that those are pleasant or anything, but if you've never really like had a job where you had to lift things or walk and lift things or deal with really irate customers all the time, it's one of those things that feels like it should be part of the human experience, because it's like you're seeing a really important segment of humanity that you're not going to want to forget exists. There really are some lessons that can't be learnt any other way, and one of the things that confers those lessons on you is working for tips. I am very glad that I did that for years, if nothing else, so I can be glad I'm not doing it for years. Yeah, it's like every American worker should work a fast food job. They should work some kind of job that you work for tips. Maybe everything else is debatable, but that's going to teach you everything you need to know about humanity. Or at least it's going to teach you some things that you need to know about humanity. Okay, now my mind is just adding things. Everybody should be punched in the face at least once. Everyone should scrape their knee at least once. Everyone should climb a tree at least once. Fast food job and work for tips. Basic human experience. And completely random news. Bitcoin has not recovered since I sold. Not once has it returned to 117 since I sold at 117. I'm not saying it won't. In fact, eventually it definitely will. But it is kind of looking like for this cycle, I sold at about as good a time as I could. Well, we're pretty close to through the entire bin of plastic. You can see there's not much left. It kind of comes at a good time because we're gonna order maybe about a month before Christmas. I'm thinking we got a couple more weeks left of plastic here. It's pretty cool because we basically got this when we moved into the house. And I think it's only been like 3 or 4 months. That's a pretty fast amount of time to go through an entire pallet of plastic. Okay, we didn't make D20s on every single printer because there's some stuff we do have to make. But we made it on a bunch of them. Here we go. We're really working on some of the printers. This one, of course, like I said, messed up twice, even though it worked way better than it was working. It still messed up. And this fan seems to be really underpowered. Perhaps that was the problem the whole time. We didn't quite get into it. So we're going to be splicing a new fan onto these fan wires. Old fan. New fan. Yes, people normally use a heat gun, but a lighter is much more of a rock star thing to do. There we go. I can feel significantly better airflow. Hopefully this fixed the problem. Okay, it seems to be printing so far. We're just starting off with a Moai. We might as well just start a little something small, see if it can handle that, then maybe we'll make a full-size project if it does okay. Let's paint a couple things. Of course, you know Tupac. Here we've got a Dostoevsky. And we've got a foot stop. And we've got a Moai here. And we've got a David right here. And we've got yet another guitar octo. And a nice white David. Dostoevsky and feet. Nice black guitar octo. Tupac. Moai. Alright, I think this might be working. May really have been a fan issue, so hopefully. Oh boy! Man, we did a lot of stuff today. Ugh. Feel pretty good about the products this week. I was really trying to maybe crank out a 4th one, but I think we're maybe going to start saving up products for releasing during Christmas, if you guys remember that idea. I've been thinking about how I want to do it. I'm kind of thinking we haven't released all of the different colors of like Einstein's and David's. Like there's a lot of metallic finishes that we haven't made products. And so I'm thinking maybe we take a whole bunch of pictures beforehand, release them as products during Christmas, because that just seemed like a real good idea. And I know there are people that actually do that. You know, something that's very true about sales is you don't try to put gasoline on small fires. You put gasoline on the big fires. Whether that's like products that sell a lot or whether that's times people buy a lot. It's a lot easier to take a busy time and make it busier, as daunting as that is, than like take a non-busy time and make that a busy time. So, I mean, it could be that Christmas is so insane that increasing it is just not doable, and we're going to try to prepare for that scenario. But it'd be nice to have at least a few products in the bag that we can release during Christmas and kind of maximize it, you know. There's been a Christmas where I did 40K in sales, and that was the biggest one ever. We haven't really gotten that close to that before, but I know I can handle that level. And plus, the big stuff, the margins tend to be better than the old days. So, all the more reason to maximize that thing. We've got a lot of gratitude online today. BDA Studios LLC back with another one. I'm grateful for sales starting to pick up in my shop. It's been slow and steady, but the process works. I'm curious, are you referring to my process, the genius process of make things? It's very true though. Just keep making stuff. Eventually stuff will sell. That's it. Art Fedderson, I am grateful for the waffle reveal. Best reveal. Yes, I enjoyed it too. I think I was reaching for some kind of breakfast pun, but it didn't come to me. Dennis Mador. I don't know if they've commented before. Happy Sunday. Love your videos. Great looking items. Can't wait till the next one. Thank you. Comment more in the future. Tell me all about your pawpaw. Ulrich Traver. Actually, several people basically said this. There's a print for the Aldi carts, brother. Man, 3D printing is really changing the game. I kind of feel like I want to honor tradition though and just use quarters. It just feels like we're getting too far from nature. Shane 1234C. Let me sing you the song of my people. Screech. LOL. Yeah, it actually stopped. I think I fixed it. Yeah, it's kind of like when you get squeaks like that and anything is loose, just tighten everything. Or if you're getting squeaks and everything is tight, just loosen something. The Reasonable Gentleman. Tire kickers, explain them perfectly. Thank you. Thank you for the validation. Okay, here's a good comment right here. Juka Kasi. Interesting. I feel like that's an Indonesian name. Here, I'm so curious. I'm going to ask ChatGPT. Interesting. Finnish. I wouldn't have guessed that, but the double K actually is very much a thing in Finnish. I know that from playing GeoGuessr. You know, a lot of GeoGuessr is looking at signs and stuff and seeing what different languages look like. A lot of times those double Ks, it's a real big thing in Finnish. Estonian is very similar as well. Juka Kasi says, a couple of episodes ago, you mentioned that you don't use an airbrush because it doesn't provide enough paint volume, but you should look into the paint guns they use in automotive applications. See, this has actually occurred to me before, but I've never really done a lot of research. I think you would use, back in my vending machine days, I had a couple of accounts that were body shops, and they did have paint booths and stuff. It's hard to think about these things because the only thing I was thinking about when I would go into these body shops is like Am I out of candy bars? Do we have enough chips? I'm getting like all these flashbacks of like, oh man, did I remember the sour cream and onion crackers? Yeah, I can visualize where the machines are and like who you had to talk to or what door you had to open. Yeah, it would be good to look into that. I would wonder if it's cheaper. Like, do you have to have some kind of special paint for those sprayers? Man, you'd really have to price it out. And the other thing is, do you switch nozzles or something for different colors? Because you wouldn't want to accidentally get some of one color onto the other. These are the things you got to think about. It's interesting though. I have seen people do that, and it would be really fast. If it was like substantially cheaper, if it saved like 2/3 of my paint cost, it would maybe be worth it to invest. JP Letty with another based comment. I am grateful for your daily sense of humor. It really makes my day. The alternative, local news, raping, killing, and child abuse. Who wants to start their day like that? So true. You gotta really, it's one of the reasons we don't do politics at all on this channel. It infects everything, but it's also just like a lot of people start their day with this show. It's like, I'm trying to kind of generally be sort of positive. You know, optimism and positivity, it can get to this point where you're kind of not grappling with reality, but it's also like we need to have some humility about how much reality we really can deal with. You know, it's like you got to think about what you can actually do in your own life, and there has to be some balance where we're not just exposing ourselves to stuff that we can't do anything about all the time. It's not that you don't want to be, like, I don't want to be ignorant of things like that, but at the same time, it's like, man, there's some kind of balance to all this. There is a circle of control. Inside is what you can do things about. Outside is what you can't do anything about. It's a very serenity prayer thing, but I do believe in that. All right, well, what am I grateful for? Thank you for the gratitude today. It's a little bit early, but I feel like we kind of figured out the CR10 direct drive thing. I also ordered, speaking of things I can do stuff about, I also ordered some of those box fans that are twice as thick as the normal ones, because if you look on the space on these Micro Swiss upgrades, you can put in the thicker fans. And it occurred to me the failure we had with the D20 this morning may have also been a cooling issue. I don't really know, and it seems to be fine now, so I don't even know what it was, but sometimes the filament gets a little thick spot and it just gets jammed and there's nothing you can do about it. But yeah, more cooling might be better. See, it seems to me, tell me below if you know about this, it seems to me that with the greater sort of torque, that perhaps it produces more heat, or at least a little bit more heat. So maybe having more powerful fans might be something that's worth doing. I don't know, we're gonna find out, but I've got those ordered. Those are coming in a couple days, and we're gonna get this D20 thing figured out. Other than the D20s, we're stocking up a pretty good amount of all the other things we need for Christmas. So yeah, we'll probably get a couple more Micro Swiss upgrades and get the entire fleet kind of running on that. I think we're gonna be good. But anyway, that's what I'm grateful for today. Let me know in the comments what you are grateful for. I appreciate you guys taking the journey with me. We are on the road to Christmas. Last year, it was a very fun thing to kind of document the entire process, and then to eventually, you know, that's like our Gettysburg, that's our Super Bowl. And it's fun to share that with you, you know? It's an epic thing, but preparing for it really helps. It's kind of the only way you can get through it. In the early days, we had to shut the shop down maybe a day or two within Christmas season, and just that could cost, you know, a few $1,000s. So like, you really don't want to do that. You want to be prepared. But it'll be our seventh or eighth Christmas, I'm not sure. Actually, I think it might be our 8th Christmas. So yeah, it's fun to take the journey with you. Let me know in the comments what you're grateful for, and I appreciate every single one of you. You guys are the best. We are the Gratitude Gang. I'll catch you on the next episode tomorrow. Peace out. Oh man, when I went to Chili's, I should have been like, I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. M3s.
Stay around you. I can't say what I need. This blinding arm of lessons I'm seeing to standing in a moment. What has been is cast aside, frozen there as time rode. I know that you must have died. Find me something free. Empty my possessions, everything I need. Through emotions, and we're all going to die. So leave me something precious, another sunlight. Surround you, open up your light, time to say a Wiedersehen.